I'm about to turn 30, and is there anything called a pre-midlife crisis? My life demanded me to choose myself, and I wasn't sure who I'd become if I did. Work and work and work and work, ain't ya? You don't have no time to lay up. You just trying to be somebody. Only a few can relate. This may not resonate with everyone. If it does, I'd like you to stay and listen to the message that I'm conveying. This video is going to talk about stepping more into who you are and why you're here. Stepping more into defining yourself. In the past year, so much has gone on, from family, from moving to health, to just redefining more of who I am. I've been up and through it, up and down. It's been a whirlwind, just figuring things out. Identity and self-esteem have been huge themes all throughout my life. And I constantly ask those questions. Why am I here? Does this feel right? Where do I belong? Am I supposed to be here? This doesn't feel quite right. My soul constantly gnawing at me and speaking to me in these soft like whispers, heartache and pain. From all the experience that led me up to here, from college to China, to tutoring, to the military, I realized I was giving my power away. I was unhappy. Depressingly enough, I make the same amount of money that I was getting paid in college, outside of my housing being paid for. And back in the day, rent was probably $400 to $700. Seeing only a $200 growth got me thinking my worth isn't being valued. And that aspect is my responsibility. I feel deep down I know what I should be doing, and I think we all kind of have that inkling, that idea of what exactly we want and should be doing. Why am I not taking up more space? Why am I not being bold, taking risk? What am I afraid of? And why am I afraid? The soul tug are these goals and these dreams and these visions being abandoned and unheard, not being carried out. If I'm abandoning myself, that only means everything else is going to abandon me. And this right here is exactly how unconsciously I was giving away my power. The true fear isn't doing your passion, because once you do it, it's phenomenal. The true fear is when the head starts spiraling and spinning with those negative thoughts. Well, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? How much of my time should I dedicate to that passion from abandoning myself for so long? What if I get rejected? What if my project doesn't land? That head starts going and going, and it's hard to put a stop to it. However, according to the famous Carl Jung, he is a psychiatrist, he says every human life contains a potential. If that potential is not fulfilled, then that life was wasted. Let that sink in. And my favorite quote from The Alchemist: when you want something, all of the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. I don't think passions and dreams are talked about enough. According to research, on average, 1 in 10 Americans actually live out their childhood dreams. This data is research from 2024, so there's nothing updated from 2025, and we're going into 2026. So if you guys find some updated information, just let me know. What feels true for me is other people's doubt and judgment pressed upon you, and all that feeds into the internal fear of what we already think about it. Will I fail? Will I land on my feet? Will I get rejected? So our own fears, and just add other people's input. As a kid, they're so smart, they're bold, they are unapologetic, they're true to themselves. When we make those goals and we think about those goals, those are true and deep. And so I notice along the journey of growing up, you just forget. Forget what you want, forget your soul's calling, and abandon it all, giving power away and becoming the buyer, becoming the person who feeds into somebody else's dream. The journey of the soul was lost, but my soul frequency stayed the same. Those triggers and agitations and sensitivities, they were for a reason. And I felt outcasted for feeling so much. But all along, that was the exact point. To feel discomfort so that you can return home to self. Try these different facades and these different phases and journeys of life to see what works and to see what does not work, to see what resonates and to see what doesn't. Contrast is an amazing thing. It shows you more of what you do want. Because of contrast, fear, and self doubt, and external opinions, and abandoning my soul's journey and delaying the journey. It's a one thing to know your calling, but then it's another to execute it. I've done the work, I've looked within, I've sat with myself, I did shadow work, I did childhood trauma work, I've done past life regressions, I've gone to therapy, met my soul mirror, I've challenged myself, I've suppressed myself, not fully be myself, specks and pieces. This message is for people who want to be in alignment, acceptance of oneself, unconditional love, choosing favor over fear. My soul's journey has been incredible. All the experiences led me up to here. Playing small is no longer an option. Remaining quiet is no longer an option, but I do know merging my childhood self with my adult self, there is a time and a place. But keeping quiet to make other people feel good and to abandon myself and my boundaries, it's not happening anymore. Saying no is okay. No response is a response. It's in me for a reason. It's in you for a reason. What feels true for me is presence, purpose, expansion, radiance. So I want you to think about this. When was the last time you did something that you haven't done before? Please drop it in the comments. It's making me think of Darius Rucker. When was the last time you did something for the first time? So for me, I did a solo for my captain. He was retiring, and I did the national anthem. The last time I sung, I was in the 8th grade and I cracked. I could have stopped my journey there. I could have not sung for the rest of my life. And I could have shut that aspect of me out. I love singing. I love dancing. Why would I stop doing that? Because of what happened years ago. So that was a huge challenge. I'm thinking that all these officers are going to judge me. But then I'm like, I'm doing this for myself because I have the capability to, because I enjoy singing, and because I love the sound that comes out, and some people will and some people won't. So I took that challenge. So just, drop in the comments something that you have recently done, a challenge, something that you overcame. I really want to know. Something else crossed my mind. When people give unsolicited advice, it's like you might as well just take your skin off, get it cut off, go to the doctor. And of course, you're going to have to do this in a foreign country because that's apparently what people want is they want 2 lives. In this incarnation, they want to give advice on your life that you didn't ask for. So it's very apparent that they want to live two lives. So you can have my blood, you can have my bones, and you can have my bills too, since you want to live 2 lives. I'm just joking. People know when they need help and they can ask for help. We have consciousness, unlike animals, unlike the robots that are being programmed. We have consciousness to move, to be present, to ask, to think. But that is getting to a whole nother subject. The unfolding of my life journey has been beautiful. The unfolding of your life journey is beautiful. There are so many amazing stories from celebs, from A-listers, from people who went from addiction, from people who were SA'd, who were abused. They turn that pain into a beautiful story. And so what happens, I'm not trying to say that it happened for a reason, but you can use it to anchor into that soul journey, passion, and purpose. The lonely nights take you from heights you cannot return from. So the start of my journey happened back in college, where my soul essence was mirrored back to me, which was such a beautiful interaction. I didn't know I was so amazing. I didn't know I was worthy. I didn't know I could be seen fully for who I am. I didn't know those things. I didn't know I was so worthy and appealing and that I mattered. I didn't know I could be understood. And people are out there that's just like me. People like reading, they like exploring, they like knowing more information. They like using vocabulary that I use. They actually care about other people outside of themselves. It's other people like that in the world. They have emotional intelligence. They challenge themselves for the better, and they acknowledge that other people's feelings exist outside of their own. Presence, precision, awareness, accountability, listening, consciousness, and beingness. I was revealed through another, and I wish everybody could experience this. I put this experience into words for those who are curious. If it wasn't as meaningful, I wouldn't have wrote about it. It was, and it still is. Just click the link in my bio. to me has learned so much, and I just want to share it. Run my mouth. I used to get in so much trouble growing up for talking too much, and now I realized it's because I meant to. Context rich, inspirational, prosperous, poetic, captivating, alluring, pertinent, and informative. I at least have two more books in me for right now, along the journey of becoming who I am, becoming her. One down, two more to go. And that's just right now. Who knows what else is going to pop up along this journey? Who knows? All of the books are just becoming. And it's like a part one, the revelation, the awakening. Part two, the gunk, the nitty gritty. And then part three is just returning back home to me. How do I know that stuff already? Because it's been implanted in me. I've asked those existential questions already. Why are we here? What all is there? If I died at this exact moment, would I automatically reincarnate in the same moment when a baby is born? I'd be thinking deep, y'all. Why are we different and what makes us different? Do people reflect us? Are they just pieces of us? Is love found or is it created? And why wasn't I born with a silver spoon in my mouth? But I know now because I wasn't meant to, because I was meant for more. I was meant to create and embark in a journey, in a story, in a revelation, in an awakening, to make an impact, to be in history books, to plant seeds. And deep down, we know we can ignore or be proactive. Love you, love you. May my soul try to find me, and I do.